that would say, oh yeah, there's some surprises built into this. And let me just say, I had a talk with a young Uber driver like yesterday, and I told him about the series, best job in the NFL, backup quarterback. And all he kept saying to me was, well,
you say no, Uber's better.
Depends on how you feel about it. See, like everybody wants to play, and I'm like,
that's got a point.
I'm like, you're absolutely right. They do want to play. Every backup, second and third string, fourth string quarterback in the NFL wants to play. But in the meantime, until they get that option, they're making $800 to $1 million per year. Well, I'm like, dude. So I'm thinking to myself later, I should have asked them, would you tell somebody who could sit on the bench and make $800,000? No, go play in the USFL for $45,000. Is that what you would recommend? You know what I mean? It's a job. We understand with all of that, even with the starters, there's a level of job to it, but there's just a level of job if you're not, getting everything you want out of all the full emotional satisfaction of being a starter and a star and all of that kind of stuff. But yet you're in the league. And that was, to me, I was like, I can understand how you feel. I would have felt that way at your age probably too.
Prime example, and we talked about this, Kyle Lauletta, who played in the USFL this past season, was already in the NFL. He was on the Giants roster. He was the backup quarterback. And I'm sure he made more when he was there than he did as a starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Stars, or whatever team he was playing for. I forget, it might not have been the Stars. But his time had basically run out as far as having an opportunity. Yes, you want to sit on the bench in the NFL, as long as there's a viable opportunity that you can see to get a chance to either solidify yourself as a number two on a particular team or have an opportunity to compete for a starting job. Once you start getting passed around and start hitting waiver wires and practice squads, it's time for you to take an opportunity to try to prove your worth again. So in that respect, I get it, but what you said is right. Would you rather sit on the bench for $800,000, or would you rather go to another league and start for $100,000?
Remember the backup to Jaws, the black guy. He played really well against, like, in the one or two times when
Johnny Walton.
Is that his name? I remember back then he was the backup, and I thought he was better than Jaws personally, to be quite honest with you.
So did I.
Every time he came in, he lit it up. Okay?
Yes, he did.
He was sitting on the bench way back then, making, I believe, $700,000 a year.
If that.
But he left and went and coached high school football for like $35,000. So, everybody has their value system and things of that nature. And I'm not trying to impose mine on anybody. I told him we were just kind of having fun with this.
Right. There's other factors. Yeah.
Right.
Back then, black quarterbacks wasn't getting real play.
Dude, I'm like, I'm back there saying, dude, $700,000, I'm sitting on this bench.
Until they kick me off.
They're going to have to come drag me off this thing.
Right.
So, there's always that balance, but it was an interesting conversation. It did make me go back and look at the CFL, for example. Interesting story, not part of the show. Later on, I'll just mention it. Walter Payton's son I think he had been with an NFL team. He wasn't getting any play. They let him go. And apparently he had some interest from the Packers.
Yeah, he's a backup for the Titans.
Backup for the Titans. And he said, No, he went and played in the CFL because he said no Peyton is ever going to wear a Packer jersey.
Okay, that's personal. That's personal.
Oh my! I read this. I'm like, holy mackerel! But again, maybe if your dad's Walter Payton, money ain't an issue so much.
No, that's personal.
But I mean, that is
that's in his
personal.
heart.
You can afford to be personal though. But okay, I thought it was hilarious.